What's good, you guys? We're back for episode 5, maybe. Kind of lost count, but as you can see, Cade will not be in this episode. It just didn't work out for him this week, but we're having a good time with it, so might as well keep it rolling. For a boring week of college football, we got a lot to get to, a lot to talk about. It was an exciting week, even though Kentucky didn't get to play, but so we'll see what goes on next weekend, because next weekend should be a lot more like bigger games. But this past week had a lot of excitement. To start off, Coastal Carolina went down to Appalachian State. That was a Wednesday night game, so I'm sure the rest of the week at Appalachian State didn't go too well for the teachers and the classes. But I mean, that's a great win for their program. Coastal Carolina dropped to 24. That ruined their perfect season. I mean, it was a good game. Coastal Carolina played well. It's just Appalachian State, they just pulled it out in the end. So it's just how college football goes sometimes, and nothing you can do about it. This was a big game to me because I'm an offensive guy. Cade's a little bit different, but for me, I loved this. Wake Forest, which they're undefeated, 7-0 or 8-0, I don't know. I think they're 7-0. But they played Army. They went to Army. So Wake Forest scored 70 points, and they only had the ball for 17 minutes and 17 seconds. That's like the biggest difference I can remember. Like 70 points on 17 minutes of time of possession just blows my mind. And Army put up 56, but just the fact that they put up 70 on 17 minutes is just insane to me. And going forward, I think they'll have to beat Clemson. I think they would have to beat North Carolina. I could be wrong. I don't see them completing in the season undefeated, but crazier things have happened, so I guess we'll see as the Demon Deacons continue forward. Oklahoma. That was a huge game for the Sooners. It was kind of a must-win because, I mean, it feels like every game's a must-win for them, but it was just an on-the-road game for Kansas. I mean, that's a team you can't lose to if you're Oklahoma in this situation. So, it was a good game. It was kind of back and forth. There was a lot of you may have seen it. There was a 4th and 2 play where Oklahoma they went for it, and it's basically if they get it, game over. And so their running back Brooks gets stopped like behind the line, and before they call like the play dead, Caleb Williams, the quarterback, just goes and grabs it out of his hands and gets across the first down line. Like I've never seen that. I didn't understand. I mean, I thought it was legal, but I was like, man, there's probably something. Like that just seemed so insane to me. But it was just a genius play by him. You can't ask much more. A true freshman quarterback, like it was an impressive play. But and Spencer Rattler, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, I think. I mean, he started out the season future number 1 pick. He was projected to win Heisman. I mean, I can't remember a bigger drop off in my life. Like right now, he could transfer. Who knows? I mean, he goes from predicted to win Heisman to benched. Like it's crazy to me. Pitt beat Clemson, so going off of the Spencer Rattler being benched, DJ Uyunglele, I don't even know how to say it, but he got benched as well. So Kenny Pickett, he is continuing his Heisman campaign. I wasn't buying it at first, but I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon now. I don't know if he's gonna win it, but he's making a race for it for sure. He had 302 yards and 2 touchdowns, which isn't the most crazy game ever, but he's just been so consistent throughout the year. You just can't ask for much more out of him. He's just playing great football this year. But another game that I watched a lot of. Turned it on in the fourth quarter, which seemed like it was halftime in this game. Illinois versus Penn State, 9 overtimes. That blows my mind because a couple years ago I watched whenever LSU and Texas A&M went into 8 overtimes, and that score was like, it was up more than 70. I know that. It was insane. So going based off that, you would think a 9 overtime game would be 100 points, but no. The final was 20-18. Illinois wins, and it was crazy because the first 2 overtimes was just field goals, and then once you get to the third overtime, the new rules is you just go for 2, and it took them 8 overtimes to even get the ball in the end zone. So a whole lot of defense, not much offense, but Illinois pulls that one out. They held Penn State, and then Penn State wasn't able to stop them. Oregon versus UCLA. This was quite the game. I actually had picked UCLA in a close one, and UCLA was the favorite, I believe. It was a good game for most of it. UCLA went up 14-0 to start, and I was like, oh my, like don't let them just pull away. But yeah, Oregon fought back. Oregon actually pulled away a little bit, but almost sold the game at the end. It would have been a rough way to lose that game because they had played pretty solid. It took them a while to get going, but once Oregon got going, they were fine. Since Cade's not here to do it, I will do it. The Tennessee man. So Tennessee played Alabama, so that's usually doesn't go too well for the Vols, but this game just was a lot different. I know Cade would have a lot to say about this, but my take on it, Tennessee showed a lot of great offense. They kind of took advantage of what Bama was giving them. Bama was opening up the middle of the field at the beginning of the game. Tennessee was taking advantage of that, and they were putting up points. They actually took the lead, which I don't even know when that's happened last for them, for Tennessee versus Alabama, but final score did not make it look like how good of a game it was, because it was actually back and forth for a little bit, and Tennessee had chances. It was just, it seeed close until a certain point, and then once it hit that certain point, it was just Bama took off. But I believe it was 52-24 or 52-17. I don't remember the exact score, but Hendon Hooker played good. Don't remember how much he threw for, but yeah. Bryce Young continues his Heisman campaign, like I said, for Kenny Pickett. I think Bryce Young, it's got to be between Bryce Young or Matt Corral. They've both played great football this year. They're playing to their offense, and they are like playing amazing in it. Both throwing for a lot, running for a lot. Bryce Young actually ran a little bit this game, which I heard Bama fans were actually wanting to see a little bit of, and he did well with it. So I see. I mean, Bama's definitely not what they usually are, but they're still Bama. So I could see them win out. I could also see them lose to Auburn later on in the year. I don't know. Bama's definitely not on the same level as recent years, but we'll see how the rest of the season goes for them. So real quick, I'm going to make some of these picks, and I want to talk about a little bit going forward with the Kentucky game. So Georgia, Florida, this is a neutral site game. Jacksonville. So in recent years, I think Florida won last year, but recent years it's been a little battle back and forth a little bit. But I'm going to take Georgia big in this one. I'm going to say I'll take the Dogs 37-10 in this game. Ole Miss at Auburn. Bo Nix, I've always said he's a different breed at home. But I see Matt Corral and Lane Kiffin just being a great duo and continuing forward, and I see them pulling this one out. I got the Rebels 34-24 in that one. I'll take them. And then next game, Kentucky at Mississippi State. This game is like everybody has always said Kentucky has one trap game that Kentucky always loses,
And prior to the season, many people said this, but I think the bye week couldn't have come at a more perfect time because it's like if we played Mississippi State last week, we could have let Georgia beat us twice, as people would say. I don't know how this game's going to go. It started as Kentucky as the underdogs, but now Kentucky's favored by 1 point. Kentucky -1. This is definitely a game that'll set the tone for the rest of the year. It's coming off a loss, bye week. So, I don't know. It's either Georgia could beat us twice. We could lay an egg in Starkville, which Kentucky actually hasn't won in Starkville since 2008. So, I was 6. So, I don't even remember a win in Starkville. But hopefully, that's another door that needs taken down for the Wildcats. I know it's a tough place to play, but yeah, I'll take Kentucky in this one. I'll take the Cats. I'll go 31-17 or something like that. Just around that. I'll take us by a couple touchdowns. But I love Mike Leach. They throw the ball 60 times a game and throw for 400 plus, which is just beautiful offense to me. But that's coming from former quarterback, so I love just when teams throw the ball. So I love his offense. He's also a hilarious guy. But yeah, Kentucky could win out. It's not easy, but this is definitely the biggest stepping stone to winning out because it starts with this game. If you drop this game, 10-2 you can't be disappointed with, but in a way, Kentucky fans will be disappointed because of what could have been. And then Tennessee in a couple weeks at home. Tennessee is very good, so I'll be worried about that one. But it starts with playing at Mississippi State, and Mississippi State showed good signs this year of some good progressions since last year. So we'll see how that game goes. Hopefully Cade is back next week. Big weekend of college football coming up. There's a lot of good games, a lot of good college football. So you all enjoy the college football this weekend, and we will see you all in the next video. So peace.